damn gophers. Welcome back to Tale 3 Cabins. Last week we started working on this trench and we're going to run some communications lines and also power back to the shed like we used to have when we had the old cabin. We ran a 1.5 inch inside diameter conduit that goes from the crawl space all the way over to the shed. For the most part the trench is about 18 inches deep on average. But today we need to cover this up. It's going to be a little bit tedious, almost as tedious as digging the trench itself. So we went ahead and filled some of this in over there by the shed so we could use that area. We hooked up the new Starlink cable and that's working just fine right now. But I need to fill in the rest of this area today. Don had to leave, so we wanted to make that a priority down there by the old parking area so he could get out, just go right down the drive over here. But I need to fill the rest of this in, which is going to be a little bit difficult when it comes to this steep part over here. Usually covering up a trench goes much quicker than digging it because you just used a loader bucket with a 1025R and it goes pretty quick with that wide 53-inch bucket. But in this case I'm going to just have to use the backhoe almost like when I dug the dirt out of it. It's going to have greater reach, and due to the terrain I won't be able to use the loader bucket as much. I'm going to dress this area up the best I can now, but I'll probably have to do it again in the spring just from the trench sinking and then some erosion coming off the hill where we just dug all this dirt. I am hoping that there'll be less dirt coming down here in this parking area just because we'll be dressing up the top area near the house, putting down some fabric and some gravel on top of that. Earlier models of the 1025R prior to having the 2 seats on the backhoe just had the 1 seat that it would swivel back and forth, and it made it easier to grab the controls when you were driving. But now with the 2 seats a little bit harder, and here as I'm going up an incline it doesn't look that steep, but the brake will not hold. The tractor's going to want to roll down the hill, so I got to reach around and try to grab the outriggers of the backhoe, see if I can get those down to hold the tractor up. You want to use cautious also covering up this conduit. If you have some space underneath it so it's not fully laying on the dirt in certain areas, you want to try to get some loose stuff to go underneath so you don't risk a chance of that conduit bending or shearing itself off under heavy pressure. think I got enough boulders around here that I could make a nice cobblestone driveway. I haven't really figured out what we're going to do for steps getting down to the shed area, but it would be neat to be able to incorporate some of these rocks. If you notice, from time to time I have the backhoe off to one side of the tractor. I usually try to keep it on the uphill side of an angle, which helps a little bit with a tipping hazard. We're getting close to closing that gap up and almost have the whole trench covered. Alrighty, so the trench is in, which is good because now I can take care of some other things before it starts getting really soupy out here with the change of weather coming up. But I got the trench down, we got everything buried. I just need to dress it up a little bit more. We got the Starlink cable through here, we got electric cable. I'm sorry, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to comment about the electric cable being put in there. But I think if for some reason that the electric cable interferes with Starlink, or in the future if we use the coax that we also ran through there to do a TV signal or possibly a cell phone booster, I can simply just flip the breaker and turn off the power going to that shed. If I need to, I can still pull stuff out. I put a little rope in there, so if I need to add something, everything goes nicely to the shed. Nice service box at the base over there. So just a little bit of work to dress this up a little bit more before I stop. I got a stone ordered for tomorrow, which will be nice because now I can put some stone out in front here and make it a little bit easier for us if we want to park here and less chance of getting more mud in the house. And there's a lot to be cleaned up down here where we used to have the main parking area. It's just kind of messy there, and I still am getting some erosion coming off of this, and I'm probably going to get a little bit more with the disruption that we did here. I might get another load of stone down there, put down some fabric like we did over there in the main parking area, and put down fabric like we did right behind you over here. I want to get a lot of things done this week so I can take this tractor home. There's a lot of things backing up at home that I need to take care of. But JD has been down here probably for about 2 months, and I kind of miss it being at home. There's a lot of times where I think, oh, I could just use the loader real quick or do something with it real quick to help out my back, and it's not there. Okay, that took about 45 minutes, and now I'm going to go down below and do some work down here before the stone arrives. I'm getting some 57 gravel for down there, but a lot of mud has been infiltrating, plus we dug that trench right in here. So I'm going to try to clean that up a little bit with the tractor before he gets here. Maybe I'll put down some more fabric, try to use some of that stuff up, and try to dress that up so the driveway's not so muddy. Well, I had a nice afternoon on the tractor, just my headphones and do a couple time lapses, and I got the drive situated here by the house. And then I took care of things over here, over by the shed, and kind of cleared that up because it was starting to get a little muddy over there as you're walking. I put down a little bit of fabric. I tried a little bit of a different technique putting it down because it was kind of windy, so I just put down one swath at a time, put some stone on top, and then moved on to the next one, which seems to work okay. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now, so I'm going to take a little break, and then I think I'll have about 3 hours where I go on top of the hill and just do a little scouting around and sit up in a tree for a little bit. Looks like there's some rain coming about 7 minutes away, so I don't think I'm going to be out here till sunset. So I think next week I'm going to try to tackle the culvert and try to get that in. It's shaping up to be kind of a nice day. I wish the sun would come out because we got a lot of colors back here on the hillside, and the sun would really make those colors pop right now. That's going to do it for today. I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoy and subscribe to these videos. Click on that little bell when you want to know when a new one's coming out, and keep an eye on us. Take care, everybody. So a couple people asked about the property next door to me that was for sale. They wanted info on it. They were thinking about purchasing it, and by the time they gave me those comments, that it was already up for auction and the auction was over with. So what happened? Well, it's all mine. Nah, I'm just kidding. On that Monday, bids started to speed up a little bit. So in the morning there were a couple, then in the afternoon there were a couple. And the price jumped up into the hundreds, the low hundreds. When it was getting close to about a half hour left on the auction, the increments were going from 500 and they jumped up.